What is up, everybody? It is draft time once again. Yeah, it's February. We're still drafting. Just look,
Yeah.
it is a year-round game if you play it right. But right now, it's best ball because no one's probably drafting their teams. Otherwise, for redraft, it's too early. It's never too early for best ball. And in fact, as we say all the time, this is often the best time to take advantage of some, let's just say, deflated ADPs, some values, some bargains, players we think are going to be on the rise and you won't be able to get where you get them now. To some extent, that includes rookies, but also free agents, players shifting and moving. We're always thinking football, so we got a lot of players in mind. You want to draft too? Well, here we go. Get on Underdog, get your app open, or go to underdogfantasy.com. And we're going to do the big board. We've done this before. We're going to do it again. Only $10. You can draft a fantasy football team right now with us.
Yes.
All right. Now, there also is a little board, $3. There's the big board. There's other options, but we're going to stick with the big board. I feel like that's where the sweet spot is, at least for us right now, because, we can't be doing those $100 entries every single week, can we?
No.
All right, Chris, are you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Anybody else who's on here right now, give you a second. Get your Underdog app open. Big board, 30 seconds per pick. If you like slow drafts, you can also do those. Do as many as you want concurrently, but let's do the live one. We are entering in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, what the heck? Try this again.
One more spot.
Oh, no. Cannot detect my location. I feel like this happened once before. I'm in.
You're in.
And before the draft starts here, I got to well, here, I'll wait till it starts. I'm gonna have to get up and get my charger at some point. I realize my laptop is at like 50% battery. Oh, wait, it says waiting for 9 people.
Yeah, so the first one was pretty much full. This one now, this one has room. So, hey, anybody wants to jump in there, go and do it.
So you're in 2 drafts again?
I'm in 2 drafts again. You know what? This is called sharpening the saw.
I guess so. All right, well, while we wait for it to fill, let me go get my charger. Hold on.
All right. Yeah, we got a little bit of time here before this one fills. So we'll see what happens here. It's good practice. Let's see if we get different draft spots. This other one, I got the 6th. I think that's where I got last week, if I remember. And Chris, I got the 2, which was just as good as the 1. Daniel, what's up, Daniel? You're in? Looks like he's in. All right. I'll put priority on this one, though. Still 7 spots left. All right, guys, you're just jumping on here. We got room. Get in the big board, doing a live draft. We wrap this up in probably less than an hour. Get in.
All right. Has the other one started?
Yeah. Yeah. He's in both too. Daniel's in both.
Daniel's in both too. Nice.
So was it last week or was it the week before where you got the second pick and you took Chase?
That was 2 weeks ago. I've gotten Chase in both of our big board drafts so far. So I really hope I don't get Chase again.
I mean, that's the thing is you're doing the same tournament over and over again. You got to diversify a little bit. So in this one, CMC went 1.1 and Jamar Chase.
No.
Yep.
CMC went with the 101.
He did. A little surprising.
Yeah, a little surprising. Is it a 2024 best ball draft?
I hope not. It doesn't look like it. So I get to choose. I'm at the 6. I get to choose between Jefferson or CD.
I mean, you can't really go wrong, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you probably can, but we don't know who the wrong answer is yet.
Yeah, I'll take Jefferson. All right. Vaporware is in there. Excellent. So we
Yeah,
have
we need 5 more.
4 more.
4 more. 4 more. It'll fill. These things fill pretty quick.
All right. Well, while we're waiting, now I don't expect ADP's changed too much from last week. I feel like this week though, just last couple of days, a lot more rumors, a lot of smoke. Right. This is like the dead season, so this is where people have to find things to talk about.
Yes.
Matthew Stafford's going to get traded. Right. This team's taking a quarterback. This team's not. Do you pay attention to any of that stuff, or you're just like, whatever, let's wait for free agency to actually start?
I mean, I pay attention. You got to pay attention a little bit, but you also got to listen to what the coaches said. Like I did see, like there's a report that like they're letting Matthew Stafford and his agent like go look for trades, but then Sean McVay came out and said today like we want Stafford back. Like Sean McVay, the head coach, said we want Stafford back.
Right.
So I don't, you got to try to read through the tea leaves and things like that a little bit. So,
the thing I keep seeing is the Raiders. Tom Brady's going to make it happen. He wants Stafford. He wants to whatever. Like that seems to be like the worst fit possible. This is a team that has a year. Of course, they need a quarterback. This is not a team. I feel like Stafford is one of those players that should go to a team that like is just a quarterback away. The Raiders are an everything away from being a contender. Like they do not need a 36, 37-year-old quarterback, right? I think they should probably go younger.
Also, last time I checked, Tom Brady not the GM, right?
No.
He's just like a minority owner or something.
I don't know exactly what his title or whatever it is. He's like the wizard behind the curtain who just calls the shots,
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. A lot of smoke this time of year.
Yeah, this is just to me that one just it doesn't make sense. That fit makes 0 sense. But
yeah, the good news is free agency is only like a week and a half away. So 2 weeks away, something like that. So we'll have a lot of answers here pretty soon.
Okay, answers here. I got the 2. All right. Looks like I'm on the clock.
2, but there goes Chase.
Okay, I'm not going to take CMC.
No, not CMC. In fact, I think you've taken CMC in both of these drafts so far. Did you take him last draft or no? Can't remember.
I think I got him once because he felt.
You got him in one. All right, so there goes CD. So I guess I'm going Jefferson.
What do you think about Gibbs going there at the 4?
Yeah, I think we both talked about this. I think people are a little hyped up on Gibbs because of the way he finished the season. I think Gibbs at 4 would be fine if David Montgomery didn't exist.
Right.
But we saw last year. I mean, Gibbs was still good with Montgomery. It's not like Gibbs was bad with Montgomery, but he certainly was not nearly as good as he was when Montgomery was out. Montgomery is still at a minimum going to vulture touchdowns. And I don't want to take a player with the number 4 pick who's going to lose touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, I guess people are just kind of conveniently forgetting the fact that Monty was hurt and missed multiple games. Right. I mean, that sort of has something to do with it. So, all right. Not a bad pick. I'm not saying it's bad, but I would go receiver there. Derrick Henry, that feels like the earliest we've seen him go.
Yeah, don't remember to see Henry that early. I just still can't get behind a tight end that early.
I mean, basically like a first-round pick. He's whoever's at the turn here. When Deontay Bowers' order didn't really make a difference. Yeah, I mean, I'm not taking any tight ends basically in the first, early second round.
Really upset I didn't get CMC there. That would have been nice. JT or Ladd. Let's go Ladd. Let's go wide receiver here and see how it goes. Yeah, how do we feel about Giante going? I think he typically goes like early second rounds. How are we feeling about that?
So this is actually my favorite amusing thing about the offseason, but the pre-draft is where every top player at the position all of a sudden has questions like, maybe he's not the RB1. Maybe some teams don't view him as the wide receiver one. Some teams like this guy better. So
By
like,
the way, you're on the clock here in this one.
Yeah, I'm on the clock. Terry.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, so I think it was today I was seeing like all of a sudden Omarion Hampton, like a lot of teams view him as the RB1.
Come on.
Just because.
So the guy just had what, 2,600 yards and 30 touchdowns and checks every single box you want in a running back. But nah. But are you comfortable taking Giante? Is that how you pronounce it? Giante? I don't know, Giante, whatever. Are you comfortable taking him early, late first, early second round when we don't even know where he's playing yet or anything?
I probably have him very close, like early second round, because I think like he might be Saquon-esque. Running back landing spot matters, obviously, but some running backs it doesn't matter nearly as much. So I don't think you should need to take him with a first round pick right now. I mean, look, I would say I would still probably take a receiver like Brian Thomas Jr. over him, maybe AJ Brown. I wouldn't take Brock Bowers over him. I feel like that's close, though. I feel like that's close.
Interesting.
What do you think? Way too early?
I don't know. No, I wouldn't say like way too early, but I mean, like I would certainly rather just have Devon Achane. I would rather have CMC. I'd rather have JT and Jacobs. Like I know those guys are good running backs, workhorse running backs, where I don't have any question marks about their workload or their ability in the NFL. I would take him over Bucky Irving, though. I would have him over Bucky Irving. Like I think Jacobs is probably the last running back I would have over him.
Yeah.
Again, what if he lands in a spot? Like, what if he lands in Cincinnati?
Well, that would be surprising. I mean,
I know I'm just saying like a spot where it's like, okay, yeah, he might be the 1A, but Chase Brown isn't going to be like nothing, right? He's not going to, he's not locked in as a workhorse or any spot like that. Or what if Minnesota re-signs Aaron Jones on a cheap deal and then drafts him?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like a team that's not an obvious fit. Like if he goes to Dallas or Denver, one of those teams where it's very obvious he's going to be the bell cow and a decent offense at least, then yeah, he might be worth top 15 pick. If it's not a good spot, then yeah, I would move him down. I'd push him down maybe late second round, I would guess. I mean, I'm right now I'm operating under the assumption he is going to go pretty early. So, I mean, that's what it sounds like. Everyone's saying he's going to be a first rounder. So, I mean, you don't draft a running back in the first round and don't just absolutely load him with touches,
Well, that's what we said about Bijan Robinson 2 years ago.
Yeah, but Arthur Smith's not there.
Well, what if the Steelers draft him?
I hadn't thought about that. Okay. If the Steelers draft him, then you move him down another round.
Or, I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, do you remember Jahmyr Gibbs? What the Lions took Jahmyr Gibbs with pick, what was it, like 18?
Yeah, that was surprising, right? Because they had just signed Monty.
And then what do we see? Monty and him basically splitting touches. Like, there's no, I just feel like you're drafting Giante, like where he's being drafted right now, he has to land in a home run spot. if he lands in a bad spot where they have another, like what if, well, Carolina probably won't because they drafted Jonathan Brooks last year too, but I don't know, I'm just trying to think. Or like what if a team like Houston, I mean, I don't think Houston's going to draft him. I don't know. Trying to think of like a realistic bad spot, right? Where it's like, where he's not the, where there's somebody there who's at least good, who's going to, need some touches.
Yeah, not absolutely zero competition. Okay, hold on. I got got Bijan here. Let's just go with the anchor RB theory. Hope for a bounce back from DK. I was tempted by Olave there, but I don't know. There's still some uncertainty. Yeah, I mean, it does. It does matter. It has to matter, even for a guy like Jonte, right? I think landing spot does have to matter.
Oh, it has to matter.
Yeah, but it's not going to matter as much. My valuation is not going to affect it as much for him as it would for a more scheme dependent type of runner, I guess. But I mean, look, I will say, regardless of where he goes, this is probably the highest he should be drafted, right? Even if he lands whatever you think the dream spot is. Like, what is the dream spot? Is it the Dallas Cowboys? Like, I guess.
I guess the Cowboys probably. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so you're drafting like where he's being drafted right now, he needs to go to that dream spot.
Yeah.
All right, well, I don't even mind that I waited so long on running back now. I'll take K9 as my RB1 here in round 5.
Okay, good value. And that's the thing. Everyone's going rookie crazy now, so get those boring veterans. Speaking of, all right, Nate has a question. He says, the 2-3 enough to move off of Kamara?
I think so. If it's super flex.
Feels fair.
Super flex.
You're not getting a first rounder, I don't think. So
yeah, you're probably not getting a first rounder for Kamara unless they're a Saints fan or a huge Kamara fan. So I think 2-3 is enough.
Yeah, it feels about right, actually. So and agree with the next comment. This depends on your team build, but I don't think you can ever oppose moving veteran running back, right, for a fairly good pick. So I think that's fine.
Yeah, exactly. And we've seen the last 2 years with Kamara, right? Both years, like, starts great and just disappears down the stretch. 2 years in a row, right? Like down the stretch and in the fantasy playoffs, just disappears. Just it's like, I don't know, gas runs out or something.
Well, that's the concern, right? Got a few years under his belt, a lot of touches.
And I always feel like it's better to trade a guy like that sooner rather than later.
Right.
Like if he falls way off this year, now you're not getting anything close to the 203 for Kamara. All right, I thought I was going to have to get Pickens here. Let's go with your boy.
Cam Akers?
Your other boy, Caleb Johnson.
Oh, very nice. I like that pick. Pickens still out there? Oh, Pickens.
No, he went right. He got picked right before me.
Wow, he lasted a while. Let's see. Okay, so pretty good with my 4 receivers. And running back is like non-existent at this point in terms of rankings. Man. I don't even like these receivers. Okay, well, let's just stack it. Cody. What's up, Cody? Got a question. 12 team PPR Superflex Devi. What QB can I get for Saquon?
I mean, you could probably get a pretty good one. I don't think you're going to get one of the elite ones. Like you're not going to get like the Lamars, the Allens, probably not the Jaden Danielses anymore.
No.
Think. Would I want to give up Barkley for Stroud?
Yeah. What quarterback could you get? I don't know. The question is more like, what quarterback should you aim for? Because there's probably a lot of quarterbacks, and I understand it's super flex, but it's a Devy league. I mean, the question now to me is, you taking a shot on a Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders or a Saquon? I mean, that's risky.
It's risky. I think if I was going to do that, I'd rather just get like a CJ Stroud.
Yeah, at least a young guy. Caleb Williams, I would say, is fine if someone's willing to give him up.
Yeah, it's like
it's risky.
Yeah, I think those guys are all fine. I think even like Mahomes, maybe Mahomes probably not as risky, but as Mahomes, like that's the thing. It's like, yeah, maybe somebody Captain Insano saying Burrow, maybe Burrow.
Yeah, this is too low. That's too low.
Yeah, that's too low. I think Lawrence Purdy is too low. I think if you're gonna take Lawrence or Purdy, grab like see if you can get a pick thrown in.
Wow, this is intense, Devi drafting high schoolers.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't play those kind of leagues. I mean, that's too.
No, I don't. Too deep. That's too deep. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, because I do have Saquon in one dynasty league. Like, I think I probably would just take a chance on like a CJ Stroud if I could. Right? Yeah. CJ Stroud's still only 23 years old. Yeah, okay, he disappointed last year, but we saw what he did as a rookie. If they improve that offensive line, which you got to think they're going to, if they bring in another receiver, which you got to think they're going to, we could see him bounce back. And yeah, but I wouldn't. Yeah, Purdy, Lawrence, that's too low. It's too low. This is not a spot I like here. I don't really like a lot of people on the board here.
This is where it gets tough in the middle rounds.
I just take Andrews here and go with a 2 tight end build. Yeah, that's a tough. I mean, man, high schoolers for the. I mean, how do you even follow high schoolers?
Once upon a time, before we started doing all this, I was big into the recruiting scene. For like the Hurricanes, I would have like the Rivals and all of the channels. So this guy's a 5-star recruit. This guy's doing this in high school, and and then. Not only did I realize it was pretty insane, but
yeah,
half of these guys are like, "Oh, this guy, he's ripping it up in high school." They just don't pan out, right? They do not pan out from high school to the NFL vast majority of the time. So,
even high school to college, a lot of times you get these.
Yeah, exactly.
You get these 5-4-star recruits, and they fizzle out. They get to college, and suddenly football is not that important anymore.
Or it's just not as easy as it is running circles around high schoolers.
Well, that too. That too.
All right, went double QB, double stack. Got Caleb and Purdy to go with my Odunze Ayuk. Got like
Double
that.
QB.
Yeah, the QB sandwich.
I might regret that Andrews pick here.
You see a 2 tight end build. You already have a tight end?
No, I just took Andrews. I mean, I guess I could go a 3 tight end build. I do like Njoku. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to take Pittman here. Pittman's too much of a value this year, right?
Yeah. Where are you getting him? It's
like the pendulum has swung way too far the other way on Pittman, I feel like.
Exactly. It's always about value. Like in my other one, I'm not even in on at all on Cooper Kupp. I took him because it's like round 9. Like, look, if he has a few productive games, whatever team he's with, sure, why not? 4th, 5th receiver.
Right.
Every player is not going to break out. Every player is not going to, be a massive league winner. But, you don't have to draft every round like that.
Right. And well, the thing with Pittman, the thing that I find maybe Pittman will be terrible again this year, but we're talking about a wide receiver that had over 1,000 yards, almost 1,000 yards, and 1,100 yards in 3 straight years. And then, last year was bad. I mean, 800 yards. He was a little injured. His quarterbacks were terrible. But, I mean, we're talking about a guy we know has been good and productive in the NFL. Right? Like, It's not like, Darnell Mooney. Well, yeah, he's had some moments, but what has Darnell Mooney ever really done? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the pendulum has swung way too far on Michael Pittman.
Right. He still has that big game potential. He has that touchdown upside. It'd be interesting to see exactly what Indy does. I mean, obviously Richardson will still be there. They say he's going to be in a competition. I don't know who he's competing with. I don't know. Who do they even have still?
They still have Flacco?
Are they going to still have him next year? Are they keeping Flacco?
Probably not.
I honestly don't know. Like, that's a team that probably should try to get like a Sam Darnold type.
Yes. That's a team that feels like it should be much better.
Yeah, it definitely should. I mean, they might actually be like a quarterback away.
All right, I got to go with my boy here. Oh, you just got sniped.
Ha. Just queued him up.
Captain saying for JT's sake, I hope it's not AR. JT was still good with AR. I think JT will be fine either way. But yeah, I mean, you're right. It would be great for the whole offense if it's not AR. unless he really, makes some strides. Which I don't understand. I mean, I know we only got to see him for a short glimpse his rookie year. But he had the looks. He had the looks for that short glimpse. Last year did not have the looks at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we've seen enough. Okay.
Evan Ingram. I don't know how to feel about Evan Ingram this year. I should be higher on Evan Ingram this year.
Well, I'm gonna give him a break from last year because of course he was hurt, missed some time, but also Mac Jones basically just basically a tunnel vision for Brian Thomas Jr. So
Yes.
I think with the offense hopefully improving, I think he can pay off. Like I feel like I reached for him, but that's because I'm near the end. I know he's not going to be there probably when I get back. So. Might just go another receiver. All right.
I thought about him where I took Cam, but can't pass on Cam.
Yeah. Now Mims will be a guy I draft a lot more of in best ball than anything.
Vapor, you sniped me on Goddard. I was hoping to get Goddard here for the stack.
I thought about Goddard too.
What's that?
I thought about Goddard too when I was taking tight end, because Goddard was higher up, but I don't know. I'm gonna shoot for Ingram. Hopefully he gets bigger target share.
I feel like CJ Stroud is another guy the pendulum has swung too far on this year. I probably would have taken him there if he had fallen to me. Once Vapor took Goddard. Like last year, Stroud was too overhyped. Now everybody's like done with him.
Exactly. You know how it is.
We want, we're taking Drake May over CJ Stroud now. We're taking, like this is how far he's fallen.
Yeah, but then wait until they sign or draft a receiver, right? Patch up the offensive line and people will start to get high on it. That's why I was saying, like, this is a great time to draft because we know how far it's swung the other way, right? We know who the values. We know the guys typically. Look, we don't know exactly what's going to happen in the draft, especially free agency, but we know who's probably going to see their ADP rise and fall in a few months.
Yep.
I'm curious about Michael Penix, though, because I don't feel like that offense will change too much, not in a major way. Like the pieces they have are the pieces they're going to have. So I wonder if he's going to get any, camp hype or something like that.
I don't think so. I think where he's going is probably pretty fair.
Yeah, it is fair, but, people tend to overestimate young players. So I wonder if people talk themselves into him having a higher ceiling than like Stroud or Dak or something like that.
I mean, maybe if he gets some preseason highlights.
Exactly.
He has some great preseason throws against vanilla defenses.
Exactly.
Man, Hollywood Brown, another one. The pendulum has swung too far. Too far.
No kidding.
Like, what is even the risk? Like, if Hollywood Brown busts, what did you even lose?
Well, and I know maybe now we look at going back to Kansas City. Maybe that's not even a good thing, right? Because Rashee Rice coming back, Xavier Worthy stepped up, Travis Kelce's back. So, if he goes back to KC, this will be the rare occasion where it actually doesn't help a player's ADP, right? It'll probably be like, don't forget it. He's the number 3-4 guy. But I don't think so. He's still a good value.
I'm not even that high on Keon Coleman, but I think this is just too low for Keon Coleman here.
Yeah, Buffalo's not going to draft another receiver early.
Man, it's an interesting time for the QB position. Like, as I look at CJ Stroud, and then I'm like, well, there's a lot of quarterbacks that feel like good enough. You know what I mean? Like Mahomes, Baker, Goff, Caleb with Ben Johnson now, Bo Nix, Purdy, Jordan Love, Herbert, Drake May, Dak, Stroud, Tua, T-Law, Penix, right? Like there's a lot of quarterbacks that just feels like if you have any of these guys, you're probably just going to be fine at quarterback. Like you might not dominate at quarterback, but you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, but in these formats, again, you don't have to have the top quarterback. In fact, a lot of times drafting quarterback early hurts you.
Right.
Uh,
I'm saying even like in redraft, like if you just punt QB and just have one of these guys, you'll probably be just fine.
Talking about Penix here, Lincoln saying why everyone's down. I don't think anyone's down on him. I just think, I think the view on him is that there's the ceiling's just not sky high.
Right. Exactly. Solid. He'll
be solid.
Again, right there with the like T-Law. I feel like T-Law is solid. I feel like Tua is solid. I feel like Stroud could have the ceiling, but he's solid, right? Like Dak is solid. Like these guys are solid. Like I'm saying, like if they're your QB1, like if they're playing a bad defense that week, like if they're playing the Panthers, yeah, you feel fine rolling them out. If they're playing like, an elite defense, you're probably like, maybe I'll go play somebody else this week. I'll start somebody else this week.
Nothing about him screams breakout for fantasy or league winner because it's probably not going to be a very high volume passing attack.
Right.
Because they cut Bijan and that's their best weapon. And they are supposedly going to really hammer the defense, this offseason because that's their area of weakness. And he's, guy like sure in college he was a high volume passer, but I just don't think that's the way they view him. No. He's not a guy who's going to make as many deep downfield throws. He's not going to be as aggressive as like a Kirk Cousins, which is probably a good thing. So I think he's going to be again more of a floor play than anything. That just doesn't excite people as much in fantasy. Now I feel the same way to some extent about JJ McCarthy. I don't feel like he's got a super high ceiling, except he is in a more pass-friendly offense in that system, and he happens to have Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison. So, I mean, I'm
assuming he's a starter, of course.
Assuming he's the starter, exactly. And that's the thing with McCarthy is we haven't seen him. We don't know how healthy he is.
That's another thing going back to the QB position. I mean, we still have guys like Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, Matthew Stafford. These guys are still on the board. Like, these are guys. I mean, Sam Darnold was great last year for fantasy. Like, these are guys that can still give you productive weeks in fantasy. Like, I just feel like the QB position is very, very deep right now.
Right. Agree. And I mean, given the state of quarterback for a lot of NFL teams, I don't know where, but you feel like Sam Darnold is going to get a starting gig somewhere after last season. I mean, if it's not with the Rams, Stafford is going to be the starting QB somewhere. He's still going to be more valuable in fantasy than a lot of other quarterbacks because he will sling it. Kirk Cousins, I don't know. That's a different story.
Yeah, I could see one of these teams. I could see a team like I could see the Titans. So the reports right now, of course, you got to take everything a little bit. There's a lot of smoke right now. I got to take everything a little bit of grain of salt. But the reports right now are that the Giants. Should I take your boy here? Should I go with Muth? Be done at tight end. Let's go Muth. I like Muth. The reports we're hearing right now, but of course, a lot of smoke that the Giants are trying to trade for Stafford.
Yeah.
But if they don't, they're going to try to move up to the number one, and the Titans are apparently willing to move down. I could see a team like the Titans who have signing a Sam Darnold and then trading out of that first pick. I could see the Browns signing a Sam Darnold and then look if they do trade Myles Garrett, if they do what they and then maybe go edge at 2. I could see Darnold being on either of those teams.
Yeah, it'll make it fun. This year we don't really know what to expect from the top 5 at all in the draft, because even though pretty much all those teams do need a quarterback, it doesn't mean they want to draft one, because the quarterback position isn't a sure thing. There are some questions about Sanders, as a pro. Not everybody is sold on Cam Ward for reasons I can't understand. And some teams might just not want to risk it, with a quarterback, and some teams probably see Carter as the top pick, or Travis Hunter, right? They want to go for those, quote unquote generational talents on defense. So yeah, there's a lot of moving parts, which makes it interesting. But I mean, wherever they play, like you said, I think waiting on QB right now is smart, because there's probably a lot of good values here. I mean, hell, even the guy who could be the number 1 pick overall in the draft, Cam Ward, he's going pretty late. Okay, let's see. I need. I need a rookie tight end. What are we, round 15? Okay.
Yeah. Round 15. Can I wait? Can I wait? I better get my.
There he is. That's one of those values.
Yeah, got Jalen Hurts. I just need like bye weeks, and maybe those random games where Saquon scores all the touchdowns.
You think Stafford stays with the Rams ultimately?
I do. What about you?
I don't know. I'm up in the air on that, because not just because it's rumored, because rumors mean nothing, but I mean, they're already saying buy to Cup. I mean, they just came out and said it. It's not because he wants to leave, not because there's some serious injury he's got right now. They're just like, we're moving on. Maybe they feel the same way about Stafford. They're just like, hey, you've been good, but your breakfast buddy's gone, so maybe you can follow him. Maybe they're looking for a fresh start. I don't know. It's kind of odd, but I feel like there must be something to it. And look, if he wants to get paid, which that's the other thing, is he's like, I want to be one of the top paid quarterbacks. Maybe the Rams are like, hey, dude, you're getting to be close to 40. Like we can win without you.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see that, but I still feel like the Rams. I mean, maybe if they got a Sam Darnold type, somebody that they feel like, somebody who's still somewhat youth, still young, that they feel like can keep them competitive. But like, it wouldn't make sense to trade Stafford and then get like an Aaron Rodgers, which I see some reports. It's like,
that would make zero sense.
Why not just? What's that?
That would make zero sense. I mean, you might as well just get Joe Flacco.
Right. It's like, you might as well just keep Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, no, I mean, it is weird because it wouldn't make sense. I mean, they don't have the draft capital to get one of the top quarterbacks. And I don't feel like, why would the Rams of all teams all of a sudden go in with a rookie QB? You know what I mean? That's just a weird, just like to me, it doesn't make sense for the Raiders to get Matthew Stafford. Like, this is not a good fit. But they could get somebody in between, like you said, like a Darnold, something like that. What about Justin Fields? I don't know. Honestly, I don't think there's many, if any, team that really view him as a starting quarterback. I feel like that ship might have sailed.
Yeah, I think most likely is he's still in Pittsburgh, honestly. I mean, I could see him being a back. I mean, I could see maybe, maybe Miami if they want Tua insurance.
That would make sense.
It would be funny if the indie competition is between Anthony Richardson and Justin Fields. It's like Spider-Man meme.
that that actually would be pretty funny. I'd just be glad if the Dolphins have a quarterback who's just capable of doing something on offense, anything.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's not a lot of I know there's not 100 good QBs on the planet or whatever, but it's shocking to me how some of these teams, like a team like Miami, who considers themselves a contender, is just fine going into the season with Snoop Huntley and Skylar Thompson as their backups.
Don't get me started on Skylar Thompson. They had that guy for 3
it's
years.
you're
And
basically
they thought that they were
saying
developing him to be like a starting caliber quarterback. Like how do you not see what we all see? I don't know.
right. I mean, you're basically saying hey, if something happens to Tua, we're done.
That's exactly what happened for half of last season. But anyways, okay.
The T. Higgins cap tweet? What was that?
No, I don't think I saw anything about T. Higgins recently.
T. Higgins shares cryptic tweet.
It's an emoji. What is it?
Just the cap.
It's just a cap.
Which doesn't that mean so no cap is I'm serious, right? I'm not joking. So cap is the opposite, right?
Cap means lying.
But I mean, my guess is because the reports are that they're probably going to franchise tag him, but I think it's just a franchise tag to work on a deal. Give him time to work on a deal.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not going to even try to interpret what that might mean. Who knows? But it doesn't matter because he doesn't get to decide what happens with him this year anyways. So either they slap the tag on him already, either they sign him or he goes somewhere else. But
yeah, I'm pretty sure T. Higgins is off the market already.
You know what? I don't know what it is. Maybe it obviously is just me. I just don't get a good feeling. Like when it comes time to draft and I in this draft and I see T. Higgins' name, it's I don't know. I can't do it. I don't feel comfortable. I don't know if I will ever trust T. Higgins. Let's just put it that way.
Well, now I do feel like the pendulum has swung too far the other way on T. Higgins, whereas last year, because remember the year before, people were all hyped up on T. Higgins. He was terrible. He hardly played. Last year, the pendulum swung way too far the other way. You could get him in round 5 or round 6 or round 7 or whatever it was. Now you got to take this guy as basically a top 12 wide receiver. I feel like it's now gone too far the other way. So I'm with you. I'm having a hard time pulling the trigger. Although I do still think he's going to be I do think he's going to be a Bengal this year. I still have a hard time pulling the trigger where he's being drafted.
Just gotta assume he will be. He's saying he tweeted all these rumors are untrue. Yeah, that's probably what it is. He's saying that whatever is being said about him is lies.
Yeah, which probably are.
All right. What do I need? Probably more running backs.
I mean, there's a lot of people this time of the year that like to tweet out random rumors to get attention that are not based on any kind of fact or anything. So you got to, like I said, you got to be careful this time of year.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Anthony thought he was going to play baseball. He's going to pull a Michael Jordan and go play baseball.
And he'll probably do just as well as Michael Jordan did.
Yeah.
Man, my running back room is a little sketchy. Not gonna lie.
You got 6 of them.
Yeah, I need more to make up for the sketch and after Bijan.
Quantity over quality.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, Michael Jordan wearing the 45. By the way, did you see that story about the night he wore the number 12?
No.
So apparently it's game day, and he's still wearing number 23. This is when he's still on the Bulls wearing number 23. It's game day, and somebody steals his jersey.
Mm-hmm.
All right, hold on. I like Butte here. So the only jersey they had that would fit him was number 12. I don't know why they had a number 12. That's what they had. Well, he didn't want to wear number 12. He wanted number 23. And apparently there was some kid in the stands with his number 23 jersey, and he legit asked if he could wear it in the game. I don't even know would it even fit. Like, Michael Jordan is like 6'7". Like, would the jersey even fit? But apparently he legitimately asked if he could wear the kid's number 23 jersey in the game. I don't know if the kid said no. I don't know if it was like too small. I don't know what it was, but he wore number 12 in that game. I think it was in Madison Square Garden. He had a great game. But he legit, like, apparently asked this kid if he could wear the jersey. I'm like, Michael Jordan is 6'7". Like, was it a triple XL jersey the kid was wearing?
That would have been worth it just to see it, like, rip while he's trying to go for a layup or something.
To see Michael Jordan in a little, like, skin tight number 23 jersey, like, where you can see his belly button because it's too short or something. Oh,
that's funny.
Apparently this really happened.
Whoever took his jersey is probably one of those loan sharks he owed money to.
Probably compression jersey. That's what it would look like.
Compression jersey.
Oh, I feel like this team is too rookie heavy.
Impossible.
You
could never have too many rookies before the draft.
This is one of those teams you look back on after the NFL draft and you're like, wow, this team is great. And you're like, yeah, this team's dead already. It's already dead.
3, 4, 5. I only have 5 rookies.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind.
Oh, actually, wait a minute.
Hey, wait a minute. I just realized Piano is in this draft. Man, I used to draft. If it's the same guy, I'm sure it is. I'm sure he won't watch this, but if you do, drop a comment. I used to draft with him back in the day. You remember Beerswater? Mike Beers?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He had that best ball group, and I was a part of that best ball group, and Piano was like, I don't know if it was like his right-hand man, like his number 2 guy or whatever. It's cool to see he's still drafting. That's cool.
Yeah, that's right. Whatever happened to Beers?
I think it's a tough thing. All right, let's go Trevor Etienne again. It's a tough thing having to be a fantasy football predictor or whatever we're called. It's not easy. It's not an easy game to predict.
It's a burden.
It is. It is not. Not an easy game to predict. That is for sure.
No.
Crazy, like, because these other games like poker, chess, like poker is starting to be solved. I don't know if chess will ever be solved, but obviously engines are getting so good now, right? That it's like, if you made a good move or a bad move now and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't have that for fantasy football yet.
Yeah, that's when I know AI has really arrived. We're like, hey, set my optimal lineup for week 15, and it does.
Right. It's okay. Like, hey,
The future is here.
Draft the best possible fantasy team.
Yeah, no busts.
And it does it every time, right? Yeah, no bust. It does it every time.
No whammies. What's up,
Is that what you
Python?
can
Python in the drafts too.
like? Because you can do that. You can do that with chess now, where it's like if you get the strongest possible engine, like I could, if I had the strongest possible engine, I could beat Magnus Carlsen in chess. If I, he's for anyone who doesn't know, he's like arguably the best chess player ever. There's a thing in poker now. It's like GTO Wizard. It can basically tell you. It's not like chess where it legitimately can say this is the best move, but it can say like, okay, X amount of the time you should raise here, X amount of the time you should call here, X amount of time you should fold here. Like you could just literally play like close to perfect poker.
Yeah, like it doesn't predict the future, but it optimizes all your decisions.
Exactly.
Kind of like Draft Lane.
Kinda.
Hopefully.
All right. Let's look at these teams. Let's see. I wonder what AI would think of these teams.
This snuck up on me. Okay, Jalen Hurts, Matt Stafford, not too bad. Just we talked a little bit about QB being deep, but going QB early-ish, like round 3-4, like you got Hurts here. You still feel like that's pretty decent value for one of the top QBs?
Well, I do feel like so Hurts is going, if you talk about like the elite, what I would consider the elite QBs, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, and Jalen Hurts. He's the one going last. And if anybody watched the last video where I talk about basically my favorite pick in every round of drafts, when you get to that part of the draft, especially like the middle, there's not a lot of guys that jump out to me. Like if we pull the draft board back up here and we go into round 4, where are we at here? So we go into round 4. So, I mean, it's like Alvin Kamara, Joe Mixon, Jamison Williams. I do like Romo Dunze, Rashee Rice, Chuba Hubbard. Like, none, you know what I mean? There's not anybody on the board there where I'm like, yeah, I really like this guy. So to me, it's like, all right, let me just take like the best value of the elite QBs and just take Jalen Hurts. Not something I'm going to do every time, but in that situation, yeah.
Right. And I usually don't advocate going QB early, but I do feel like right now, right, at this point, it's almost like I either am going to go early or I'm just going to wait and take those values, because that middle feels like a dead zone for QBs, because now we're like, what are we getting from Mahomes, right? Like CJ Stroud is not in that tier anymore. Some young quarterbacks we thought might be didn't jump forward last year. So I kind of feel like there's a huge difference. So it's like, maybe just get a guy like her. I think it's funny, though. It's really interesting that Super Bowl winning quarterback is being drafted later than Jaden Daniels.
Yeah, I don't really understand like why Jalen Hurts is going after those guys. Like he has as much upside as any QB on any given week. He has the potential to score, 2+ rushing touchdowns and throw for 2 touchdowns on every. I really don't get it, but is what it is. I guess they got to go in some order.
That Saquon is gonna, steal for his rushing touchdown upside.
Now that pendulum has swung too far the other way. Like remember last year, it was like Saquon's not going to score any touchdowns. Now it's like, oh, now Jalen Hurts isn't going to score any.
All right. Anyways, you're good at quarterback. So you waited a little bit on running back. I wouldn't call this a zero. I don't know. Do you consider a 0 RB draft?
It's borderline 0 RB, but this is a much riskier running back room than I realized. That is a lot of rookie running backs and a backup.
It's Kenneth Walker and a college dorm is what his running back room is. But you got a lot of upside. I love Caleb Johnson and Cam Skatibo. So, I mean,
25-year-old Kenneth Walker feels very old in this running back room right now.
Yeah. All right, receiver, pretty good. Justin Jefferson, you got Ladd. DJ Moore might be a decent value. Jalen McMillan, love him as the 4th. So great value at receiver, basically across the board here. You like it?
Yeah, I really like the wide receivers. Really like the wide receivers. Tight ends, fine. Andrews, Ferguson, Fryermuth, fine. No complaints.
They're tight ends.
They're tight ends. They're fine. They work.
So I went with the duo. This is something I was kind of basically just talking about. Instead of going early QB, I waited and I took a pair guys who should be reliable. Will have some spikes, some ups, some downs, but yeah, I'm fine. I didn't have to take any risky QBs late, and I don't have to spend an early pick. So, you think that's enough to get by with just two if it's those two?
I mean, I think it's enough. I think it's a little risky, but it's okay to take those kind of risks in a tournament like this. I think if it was me, I probably would have grabbed a third, but I don't think it's necessary. But I think only because it's a 20 round draft. If it was the 18 rounders like we see normally, then yeah, I think two is fine. But because there's 20 rounds, you probably could take three. But I don't think it's like a mistake to take two or anything.
To some extent, and one of the reasons I went Caleb was because I had already taken a Dunze fairly early. I'm big on a Dunze this year, and I do have, of course, confidence in Caleb Williams. So I'm kind of living in a world where this Bears pass offense, needs to do pretty, which I think it will, obviously. So like if a Dunze Caleb that duo flops, this draft is maybe dead anyways. So
true.
Running back. It's not my favorite, but I mean, like I got Bijan, obviously. And so with the anchor strategy here, I don't know. Are the rest of these running backs going to be the anchor that basically tie me down?
I mean, I do really like Tony Pollard. I think he's a good value in drafts. Rico, we'll see what Dallas does this year. What I guess he's a free agent though, so we'll see what Rico ends up. Yeah, Sincere McCormick. All right, you never know. I guess you never know, but you got Bijan. You should be fine. If Bijan does Bijan things, you just really need one of these guys to have a decent game every week.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to tell myself. All right, wide receiver. Depth. Oh, I feel pretty good. I mean, okay, I got DK Metcalf as my fourth, and Brandon Ayuk is my fifth. I mean, it's kind of shocking when you think about it that way. Not that they're without risk, but I feel like this is a pretty deep group to mix and match.
No, I like these wide receivers, and I feel like the pendulum probably swinging a little too far the wrong way on DK Metcalf right now. So I like that value. I'm on the fence about IU coming off of ACL, but I mean it's pick 71, so it's fine. But I like these wide receivers. A lot of upside here for sure.
And then tight ends. Ingram, I think might be a good value. I mean, where I got him, I feel like it was a pretty good value. And then to offset the risk of Fannin, I got Ertz. I feel like Ertz is probably getting a little disrespected too.
Yeah, I mean, they're not going to do anything at tight end. So yeah, probably is getting disrespected.
Another big board in the books. All right. I appreciate everyone who jumped in there as well. You guys who drafted with us. We're going to do another one very soon. Now, you want to do these, again, you can jump in a live draft like this, get done less than an hour, or you can do the slow drafts. My favorite. You can have as many as you want going on at the same time. Big board, $10, little board, $3. You can do the bigger board. If you want a little more high stakes, all of that on Underdog. If you have not tried Underdog, you don't know what Underdog is, try Underdog. And when you do sign up for the first time, because you're putting your first deposit in, before you do that, use code ENDGAME, because that gets you as much as $1,000 of bonus cash in your account. So you're playing with some free money once you make that first deposit, and you get free picks. They already have, by the way, NFL picks live for next season. If you are feeling adventurous, you can do some.
Actually, did you see what else they're doing this year? They are doing. Let's see if I can pull them up.
Yeah,
for the true degenerates here. Where's NFL? Where's NFL?
It's probably like all the way in the end.
There's NFL season. I thought I saw. Let's see. If I type in. No, not him. What the heck? That's not what I typed in. Okay, here you go. Yeah, look. So they're doing combine times. This is a
Nice.
linebacker. His 40 combine time. So they actually have higher, lower for combine times, combine numbers. So if you're a true degenerate and you want to have action on the combine, they have it.
Hey, it makes everything more fun doing the picks. I mean, if you're gonna watch it anyways, you might as well have some skin in the game, right? All right, well there you go. The combine's not that far off. How many days we got till the combine?
Doesn't it start tomorrow?
I gotta check. Yeah, it's coming up, man. Oh yeah, it's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah,
It used to be a weekend thing. Now it starts on Thursday. Well, there you go. Look, you got time tonight, tomorrow. Get some picks for the combine. Whatever you want. Wow, that snuck up on me. I knew it was soon. I didn't realize it was already tomorrow.
Yeah, we got the combine, and then about a week later, we got the free agency. So here we go. NFL's back.
Finally. All right. There you go. And let's see how all those things shake up the draft order and ADP when we do next week's draft. So check in with us, hit notifications, turn them on so you know as soon as we go live, you can join us. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate all you guys. And we'll see you on the next one.